Hello, I am Steven, the calculator guy, and today we're going to talk about 9-9 with KLIMA. So I know I just did a 9-9 video about time and abracadabra, but hey, Polygon.market.xyz decided that they want to release a 9-9 strategy with KLIMA, and I think it's a really good time for KLIMA since the price has sort of been seeing some decay. And the 9-9 strategy does certainly add a bit of a boost to TVLs or treasuries or market caps. Historically, I think it can as well for KLIMA. I also think that having the ability to do this on Polygon with low gas fees, if someone does it carefully and correctly with the ability to loop, they can increase their APY substantially. They're not paying gas fees out the wazoo. So hopefully this increases the health of KLIMA. I'd love to see it because it's a really cool project. And I support any of the Ohm developers, the ones who went over to KLIMA, the ones who still work on Ohm. So anyways, let's get into it. The basic idea is that what you're doing is you're staking your KLIMA on the KLIMA DAO, right? You probably utilized this before if you're watching this video. So you stake your KLIMA there, and then you're immediately earning roughly 41,000% APY, which is really great. And when you do that, when you stake, you get a receipt token called, what is it, sKLIMA? I imagine it's sKLIMA. Yeah, sKLIMA, which just means staked KLIMA, right? You have S-Ohm, staked Ohm, you have sKLIMA, staked KLIMA. And what you can do with that receipt token is you can collateralize it on this Polygon.market and borrow against it. Now, one of the things that I noticed about this platform was, one, it looks cool, but two, it seems very much like a Rarifuse clone. Just the feel, the iconography, the name, like pools. So I would imagine this is definitely a Rarifuse clone. So being a Rarifuse clone, I'm sort of surprised by their fees, but hey, it's they should be making money, absolutely. So this is pretty cool. I don't know for certain the liquidation incentive is the buffer. Unfortunately, I can't necessarily tell you what the buffer is from liquidation because I don't have any KLIMA. And I don't have much money to put into KLIMA right at the moment. Most money is tied up in other projects. But I can definitely walk you through what to do, and you can look at your own risk factors. So the 45% LTV just means that you can borrow 45% against your collateral. Now you might think, oh man, 45% with wrapped memo, I can do 70%. Yeah, sure, but you're high risk of liquidation. Let's look at. So I sort of augmented my Wonderland time loop calculator a little bit so that we could look at what you would see for a KLIMA, and ignore the liquidation price for now because I don't know what the liquidation price would be, and just ignore the names, right? I changed the wrap memo price to the KLIMA price. I changed the rebase rate. So imagine you collateralize 10 sKLIMA and you borrow $5,000 against that. You would be at an LTV of 42%, which is pretty close to the max of 45%. And I expect, I guess I could say I expect your future leverages to be around 40. This is not exactly accurate. This is rough math. So what this number here means is that when you loop, you would also borrow roughly 40% against it. So each loop, you'd be continuously borrowing 40%. And you can't loop, You can't loop automatically. You'd have to manually loop, which, with Polygon gas fees, it's really not that big of a deal. I think, totally fine. So your initial APY, remember, is 40,000 or 40,784%. Now, after one full loop, what I mean by a full loop is you borrow that 5,000, you buy KLIMA with it, you stake that KLIMA, and then you come back and you recollateralize your sKLIMA. You are at 57,000. So you go from $40,000 to $57,000. Also, by recollateralizing, you would reduce your liquidation price substantially. So I tweaked the numbers so you can actually see how substantially you change your liquidation price. So your current liquidation price would be equals 5,000 times 1.15, roughly $575, right? So if you just, like, I'm assuming a liquidation buffer of 15%. I know that might not be right, but if the liquidation buffer is 15%, you would have a liquidation price, a rep memo price of 575. After you buy more KLIMA, stake it, and then take that S-KLIMA and then recollateralize it, your liquidation price goes from 575 down to 404. So always, especially with this low gas, always, if you're going to use this strategy and be kind of risky and degenerate, take that S-KLIMA that you get and add that to your collateral. So go back into the protocol, click on this, click supply, add that new S-KLIMA. Right? It does nothing but help you. Seriously, it does nothing but help you. It reduces your liquidation price. All right, so here's where things get kind of interesting. You do this, right? So you add that S-KLIMA, you borrow against that new collateral that you added, another 40% per se, and you go up to 64,000. Now we're almost in Time Wonderland territory, which is pretty cool, right? And the cool thing about this is you're not really for want of meme, right? So with Wonderland, you're almost never getting that meme. Here, there's plenty of money to take from, at least right now, while this strategy is still pretty new on the Polygon networks. So you could probably do the full 10. I mean, look, honestly, I'm not looping for this much money, right? I would probably do 5 loops and call it a day, because at that point you've done a lot of work. And really, you know, it looks like at this loop, at the 68,000, right? I'm happy there. So I would maybe do 4 loops, and this is at a $10,000, you know, more than $10,000 initial investment, right? So if you're at less than $10,000, you may only want to do the first 2 loops, and then you're fine. Everything after that's not going to dramatically increase your APY. Not dramatically increase your overall earnings over a year. So that's where I'm at. That's what I would do. I'm not doing this, by the way. Again, I'm too stretched thin right now. I do like KLIMA. I also like Ohm, and I like Time. These are all decent protocols. But my point here is just to show you and to educate you, and because I got requests about this particular strategy, and whenever I get a request, I try to pump that strategy out. I know this is my rep memo calculator, but the basic idea, right? Collateralize, borrow against it, buy more KLIMA, stake it, take that S-KLIMA, add collateral. That's one loop, right? You want to do another loop and borrow against that new collateral? Absolutely, by all means, right? You're going to increase your APY. It seems like we're topping off somewhere around 68,000, and this is assuming that the LTV is at 42%. I mean, it's technically 40. So if you wanted to like totally max degeneracy, right? Maybe you can get to 70,000. This is max borrow, right? Max borrow, maximum risk. Don't recommend it, but this is just what you could achieve if you did. So let's say you do that and you want to undo it, right? You want to decollateralize. Well, it's pretty simple. With looping, it's not. You can't undo everything all at once like you can with Wonderland Time and Abracadabra. You would have to literally do it piece by piece, unless you just had the money laying around. So, for example, if USDC is what you use, or if MAI, I would definitely use MAI. Look at the APY here. APR here. Look at the APR here. Right? Definitely want to go with the MAI route. And MAI is a good stable coin. I love their protocol. It's really cool. Be your own bank. Totally into it. The 2 guys who do that stuff over there, pretty cool guys. Anywho, I would go with MAI. Right? It's a good stable coin. It works very similarly to how Magical Internet Money works. So let's just say you're with MAI. So in order to uncollateralize and stop the 9/9 process, you have to pay back your debt. And whatever portion of the debt you've paid back, you can well, you can technically remove collateral before that, but you should pay back a portion of that debt and then decollateralize that much, sell that to get more MAI to decollateralize more, etc., etc. Now, assuming you use this profitably, you will not have to decollateralize that much because your profits you can sell to repay your debt. That's the goal, I think. That's the hope for a lot of people. But it's pretty simple. You click on the asset, you click repay, max presumably, and then maybe you have to approve, then you repay, right? That repays that bit of MAI, which allows you to free up some KLIMA or S-KLIMA that you can then unstake and sell for more MAI to do. This is if you're looped, right? If you've looped. If you didn't loop, if you just did one single loop, then you just do this once, right? You take whatever KLIMA you have. Well, you take whatever S-KLIMA that you had staked, and you uncollateralize that. Then you sell it for MAI. You get the MAI, bring it over here. You repay your loan, and just do that until you're uncollateralized, decollateralized. Okay, until your loan's paid off. That's it. I think I covered pretty much everything. So yeah, when you're finished, you can just click on this, withdraw all of your S-KLIMA. This really is a Roy Fuse clone, and you can unclick collateral. No skin off my hide, and then you're no longer collateral. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more cool stuff, or if you want to support me and my channel, I can't get you monetized on YouTube because of some tech support issue that I do genuinely have people looking into, and it's just like, it's impossible. It's unfortunate, but if you want to support this channel and make sure that I feed my family, I'm kidding, I'm okay. Please subscribe or join my Patreon. Love to have you. I answer a lot of questions over there, post some cool stuff, I'd like to think. And all my calculators there are free. Not free, I mean, you're a patron, so you're kind of paying for it. But all my calculators are there for no additional cost. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. But with this one, please do be smart. Please do be safe. Please do be SMAFE, because anytime you're leveraging, anytime you're collateralizing and borrowing against it, you're at risk of a really bad day. So, figure out what that liquidation buffer is and see if that's a comfortable place for the price to be. Like if the liquidation buffer is 33%, well, then let me just show you really quickly. So if the liquidation buffer is 33%, then, you're looking at probably roughly around 685 starting as the first loop, right? That's like if you don't recollateralize your S-KLIMA, you're going to be looking around 700, 685. But after just recollateralizing what you borrow, buy KLIMA, stake it, recollateralize the S-KLIMA, you're dropping that liquidation price from roughly around 685 down to 467 immediately. So that's why it is so important, and I mean so important, to recollateralize whatever S-KLIMA you get from this strategy, because it dramatically lowers your liquidation price. All right, thank you guys for watching. Please do be safe with this kind of stuff. It's an interesting strategy, very low gas fees, potentially room to grow for the protocol. And money there, right? There's money to borrow. So could be interesting if you're already doing KLIMA. Definitely a chance to increase that APY, but do be careful. Cheers.